Namasavabhyaha Sabhavatibhyascha. So in this verse, Krishna begins the action which are noble or good in nature. Having completed the three types of knowledge or jnana called the Sattvika, Rajasika and Tamasika in the previous three verses. So let us go for each of the word there, meaning of each of the word. Uchyate, it is said, tat yat which sattvika or noble in nature, karma the action, prepsuna with a desire or love to have, aphala no fruition of the object, niyatam which is regular in nature, rahitam without or devoid of sangha or attachment, and araga without love or attachment, adveshataha without any hatred, love or hatred, kritam which has been formed. Such an action is called the action of noble or goodness. So here Krishna is elaborating on the three types of work which are generally engaged by people day in and day out. In the first verse of this 23rd verse of the 18th chapter, he elaborates upon all those occupational duties or activities which we have engaged for ourselves, which we have taken by ourselves, should have all these three characters. And it should be done without expecting anything in return. The first one is, it should be regular. This work which you are going to do, in fact it is elaborated later by Shankaracharya in his Gita Bhashya and also Ramanujacharya. It is said that this work which we undertake depending upon the community or the caste and also the divisions of the society which was laid down in those times, in the times of the Mahabharata. So once people who engage in any of these activities, it may be Brahminic or it may be Kshatriya or Vaishya or Shudra or anything it may be, these should be very regular in nature. That means it has in between the lines, Krishna is indicating that Arjuna as a Kshatriya or a warrior should engage and engross in the battle against his enemies. Instead of that, he is giving lecture like a Brahmin and scholarly lecture, Prajnavadanscha Bhashase. That's what, therefore he mentions clearly, niyatam, very regularly and systematically. And it should be without any attachment. If a person gets attached to any work or action passionately, then sets in the moha or delusion. Or he may be attached to the subject, he may be attached to the person, so that has to be avoided. Sangha rahitam means engage in the activity with your body, mind and soul intact, but without any attachment, wholeheartedly. Then it should be araga dvesha. It should not have any love or passion towards the work, because that clouds your imagination, it clouds or covers your desire to work, and that way the purpose of the work is lost, the seriousness and the final aim and the goal of the work is lost. So it should be sangha rahitam, without any attachment towards that work. That means you have to engage in nishkama karma, selfless action. And it should be without advesha, without any dvesha or hatredness. Because if you are engaging in the work and if you own that work as a propriety, so that propriety will drive you with egoism or ahankara, because you alone want to be the proprietor of that organization, the leader of that organization, and indirectly the passion and also ahankara or egoism sets in such attitude. So one should be free from dvesha or hatred towards the others, towards the fellow beings or employees or whoever it may be. Then it should be without having any desire towards either action or towards the fruit. As Guruji will be always elaborating, kartum, akartum or anyatha kartum. So you should be engaged in the activity. You should be totally involved in the activity, but you should not have any attachment or moha or delusion towards that work. But that work has to be done irrespective of the work you have undertaken. It may be that of running the country or an organization, or even it may be, people call it a menial job. No job is menial as long as you are engaged and engrossed in seriousness of the work and you do that work with all sincerity, devotion, dedication, and with seva or worship and sacrifice, tyaga. So such a work, aphala prepsuna karma. So you should not have any desire for such an action. That action is called sattvika action. By that, even an individual gets a progress, and also the society in which he is living, the family in which he is involved also get a progress, and the nation at large. Because it is sattva, as elaborated in the 14th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, 6th verse, tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakam anamayam sukha sanghena badnati jnana sanghena chanaga. Because the nature of sattva is self-luminous. People who engage in sattvic activities are always self-luminous in nature and also exude that vibration and self-luminosity and effervescence, and also that vibration everywhere. And hence Krishna is calling upon Arjuna to do his work as a warrior without any expectation of the return or the result, and it will take on its own. Namaskar, Dhanyavad.
I request Dr. Mohan Kishore sir to hoist a flag after Shanti Mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukinaha, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.